So I've been befriending by visiting a family from Afghanistan since the end of last year, a family who arrived here in the resettlement programme last summer. I went to meet them and I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest, but I knew I was kind of compelled to try and do something, and I found out about this opportunity and it felt like something I could maybe get involved with and help to at least just help to make the family feel welcome, I guess, in a new city. They'd only been here about 2 weeks when I met them, and so nobody in the family really spoke any English to begin with, so that was interesting and quite difficult, but also I realised quite quickly that it was still possible to form a relationship even though we couldn't really communicate very easily with each other. So that was really interesting for me, because I got really kind of stuck on how we're going to talk, how we're going to understand each other, but you kind of can find your way around that. So that's been an interesting experience and an amusing one as well. And a lot of the time, the visits that I do, I visit with my daughter. My teenage daughter comes as well, and she has helped the younger girl in the family with settling into school and with homework and just kind of chatting through stuff, what school life is like in the UK and that kind of thing. And I think that's been really nice for the young girl in the family to have someone who's just a little bit older than her. Sometimes it's more difficult. Sometimes, as we've got to know them more, we learn more about their circumstances back home and how horrendous things still are for members of the family that are still there, and sometimes that's really hard because there's not really anything I feel I can do. It's been really interesting to see how a kind of really warm and very fond relationship has grown between us and the family, even though there's still a lot of barriers to communication. So we find ourselves doing quite random things like watching Afghan pop videos together, which are very amusing, and I laugh a lot and the family laugh a lot as well, and it's always a source of entertainment, so we do that quite a lot. And we'll play games, like we played Jenga. I found that worked quite well. I was really struggling initially with what we could do when we visited, given that we couldn't really communicate very easily. And I suddenly thought of Jenga and didn't know how it would land, didn't know if the family would be interested at all, and they loved it. And even the dad, who's the only male in the family, it's his wife and daughters that were there. So I thought, will he not want to be involved? But he did. He loved it. He found it hysterical, and so that was a really fun afternoon playing Jenga. So there's a lot of joy in the befriending. I find that I wasn't really expecting in any way. I think I was sort of compelled to want to do something, and I didn't really think about how it might make me feel. And actually, whenever I've left the visits, I often feel just really happy, and there's been a lot of joy in our visits, and we do laugh a lot.